Hey, I'm Amy Lee from Evanescence, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 11 vocalists. Across genres, just vocals. So here we go. I think we have to start with Freddie Mercury and just go ahead and get that out of the way. Freddie Mercury is one of the most, hands down, amazing vocalists of all time. As a rock vocalist, just incredible, nails it. Perfect pitch, the strength and the power behind the voice, it's all there. But what's interesting and unique about Freddie Mercury is he has the ability to be like an opera singer if he wanted to. And I think that he knew that. So started applying that into their music and bringing some of that inspiration of something big and grand and classical and huge on in a different world into rock. And that in itself is very inspirational to me. Just an incredible, one-of-a-kind voice that I could listen to all day, Freddie Mercury. I've made no secret about my total allegiance to Björk. She is my favorite vocalist throughout my life that I've gone to the most throughout time, album after album, invention after invention. And she is such an inventor. And it's interesting because I'm talking about her as a vocalist because I absolutely love her vocal. It is so special and strange and pure and raw and all the things that I want to be. It's like, how do you just combine all of those things by just taking them piece by piece and separating them? I don't know. She's magic. But I was going to say the other thing about Björk is what an incredible artist she is, what an incredible music artist. And I think that a big part of being a great vocalist is being an artist, bringing something to the table that is new and that speaks to you, but in a new way. And she is the master of that. I love Björk. It would be wrong not to mention Michael Jackson. That voice did something, had something magic. He really invented a genre, I think, vocally, using his voice as an instrument between the lines, just having an incredible range and a range of emotion as well. I think that's another vocalist where you can hear the power of when he, wanted to go strong. That was amazing. But then also showing that vulnerability and being able to sing in a way that was so exposed, but still like never straying from that beautiful pitch and clarity. There was something really magic about Michael's voice. Stevie Wonder. I have to talk about Stevie Wonder. This is just like, it feels good to me. I love his voice. It makes me smile. He just sticks it in a way that hits you right in the heart. And it feels like it's coming from a place of joy, just like bam. So one of my top feel good go-to things throughout my life has been Stevie Wonder and his beautiful voice. I'm gonna hit on something possibly unexpected and say Andrea Bocelli. I had the incredible honor of being in a situation recently where I got to go and be with some very incredible songwriters and musicians and spend some time with Andrea writing songs together. We ended up in this moment after dinner one night where he went up to the piano and just started to play and sing, and everyone sort of gathered up in this room and were playing songs and sharing their songs and singing together. And when he sat and played and opened his mouth without any amplification or correction or anything of any kind, it just was like a hand reached out, grabbed me in the heart. Like, you have to pay attention. Like, there is no looking away. Like, it is this huge, warm big, deep, beautiful, soulful sound that is truly amazing to hear just all by itself like that. And I will never forget that moment. I have to mention Tom Yorke. One of the most amazing singers I've ever heard, someone so influential in rock world. That's just a voice that I love to listen to. It's soothing, it's beautiful. That could go over any type of music in my mind. And again, just like brings the passion that can support the depth of a lot of those lyrics. So Tom Yorke is a big one. And also in that vein of just like voices I love listening to, I should mention Lana Del Rey. I'm gonna put her on my list too.
Heard that you like the bad girls, honey. Is that true?
Because she's on every playlist that I have for myself. I realized as I was sort of studying up for this list. She just has a gorgeous voice. I like the way words sound in her mouth, if that makes sense. And anything she covers, I like usually better than the original, which is also an incredible feat. So I sort of said this earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. I think that part of being a great vocalist has to do with the emotion that you can invoke in other people. So some of the vocalists that I love, it's not so much about perfection and purity and clarity in the voice itself. It's more about the feelings that it makes me have. And I have two singers to mention out of that sentiment. One is Beth Gibbons from Portishead. One of my favorite bands from early on when I was getting inspired about making music of my own. Her voice really grabbed me and struck me as so special because of its fragility, like in a way that it's hard to explain, but it's like you can hear that she is having this massive emotion and then putting out a sound that is restrained somehow. Like you're hearing all the emotion in a small sound. How do you do that? That is fascinating to me. And it's so real. It always sounds almost like she's on the verge of losing control. And it keeps you on edge too, like you're gonna lose control. And her voice, I have to say also, is so signature and so distinct. You know when you hear her. And then another person in the vein of sparking emotion and evoking feelings, I want to say Zack de la Rocha from Rage Against the Machine. There is such an incredible amount of power and feeling and earnest, just angst coming from in there that you feel it and it makes you react. That is a voice of revolution. That is the sound of, we're not gonna take it anymore, to me. And it is completely empowering. Just a great, great vocalist. So Whitney Houston is just gotta be on everybody's list, right? Huge influence on me when I was a little girl. In fact, The Bodyguard was the first R-rated movie I was allowed to see. And my dad was like, okay, this movie's rated R, but I'm gonna let you see it because I know that you wanna be a singer and this is gonna inspire you. He was totally right, was completely in love. That became my album. And I just remember, now this is back in like tape recorder times. I remember laying in bed with my boombox like on my chest, listening to a part on a tape, and just rewinding it over and over and then like trying to do it, like try to practice slowly, like listen to the run that she would do, like the little riffs, like the no, 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 whatever it was, and go, what is that doing? And then try to do it. So in a way, Whitney trained me just a little bit. Chris Cornell is someone that I have to put on this list as well. Possibly my favorite rock voice. Just the beautiful soul, the depth of the soul in that. And at the time, in the 90s when I heard it, grunge was big. And this sort of came out of that moment, but what really set it apart was the vocal was almost like rhythm and blues, like fully soul. Even in the riffage of it, he's saying like a soul singer, but then with this power and strength and scream ability that was so metal. Like it was such an amazing and perfect and natural combination of heavy music and this deep soulfulness that went so well together. It was almost like, duh, of course, those things were born to be together. Obviously, there's a million more fantastic singers in the world, but those are just 11 that have inspired me and that I, to this day, absolutely love listening to and can't get enough of. So thank you to all of you. And that's it. That's my top 11. Thank you, Revolver. Love you guys. See you on the road.